All right, folks. Now it's time to interview our first head coach, which happens to be ETBU baseball head coach Jared Hood. Coach Hood, last week you had a doubleheader against Hendrix College. Just obviously came away with a split. Just kind of talk about what you saw from that game.
Yeah, so we went up to Hendrix and unfavorable weather conditions. I mean, it was a little bit chillier than it had been. Wind was blowing a little bit. So game one we went out and we competed well. We really took hold of the offensive strategy that we're trying to put in. Sack bunts and hitting runs and stolen bags and stuff, and we really competed well at the dish. John Mars gave us another solid start on the mound. Went, I think, 5 1/3 or 6 innings, something like that, and then Call came in and slammed the door and just really played a complete game that game. Game two, we got hit around a little bit. Balls were thrown just a little bit too much over the plate, and you got to give them credit. I mean, they put the ball in play hard and got the big hit, and we didn't. But in the game of baseball, that happens a lot of times, more often than not. So you got to give them credit. They did a nice job, but we didn't play bad. I mean, we played actually pretty well and just got beat. But yeah, so we'll get back on track this week.
And speaking of getting back on track, Coach, you guys are taking on Millsaps for the second time this season. This time, you're going to be at home. You're going to be on Woods Field. So the last time you guys played them, the fielding was great. Defensively, you guys had several guys with 5 or so put out. So is it going to take that same defensive effort to beat Millsaps this time around, or is there's something you're going to throw at them that they haven't quite seen just yet?
Yeah, well, they're a quality club. We played really, really well when we traveled to Millsaps last time we played on midweek. Solid performance on the mound. Played good defense, and we hit, and it doesn't matter who you're playing, whether it's a quality club or a not quality club. If you don't win all 3 phases of the game, or at least 2 out of the 3, then you've got a chance to lose, okay? And that's all what we did that time. That's what's going to take this time. We've got to win the phases of the game. We've got to play better defense than they do. We've got to pitch it better than they do, and we've got to get timely hitting better than they do. And if we do that and we control that, then we're going to have an opportunity to win. But like I said, they're a quality club. They're well coached, and they're going to come in and try to get some redemption against us, I'm sure. But yeah, today. So with us having the off weekend. Have some arms I haven't thrown in a while. Okay, so we're going to see quite a few guys get up there and quite a few guys compete on the mound. Zach Pierce is going to get the start for us, and we're going to kind of let him run as long as he can, and then start mixing some guys in there and seeing if we can't come up with some offensive situations and get some guys in there. So it'll be a fun night. It's good to be back home, that's for sure.
And then this weekend, of course, you're back in ASC play, traveling up to McMurray. Right now, you're still in a conference, tournament spots. If the seeds were to come out, you'd still make it. But obviously, you want to see if you can get up as close as you can near the top seeds as well. So just kind of take us through the mindset of, you went through a couple of midweek games and now you're back at ASC play. How do you think those midweek games, prepare you for the final stretch of conference games to come?
I think they're absolutely vital for us, getting prepared for conference play with the young guys that we have and the different options that we have. You've got to find out who's hot, and that's who you roll with. And what these midweek games do is they allow us to find out who's got the hot hand, whether it's on the mound or with the stick or whatever. And you get a bunch of different guys, a lot of in-game experience, on the road, which is good. And, so that's really why we try to put this thing together, so that we can throw as much adversity at these guys as we possibly can and help them overcome that. And it's really going to help out, come tournament time, and especially with, the next 2 to 3 years. For these young guys that we have on the team, they're handling it very well, a lot better than I had ever imagined. They're overcoming a lot. They've been through a lot, and we're in a position where we control our own destiny. There's probably, I think, 4 or 5 teams, all within a game of each other in the conference standings. which is right where we want to be. And we've got a big series this weekend. And the good thing is right now we don't have to, hope somebody beats somebody else or whatever. We control everything that we do. And all we've got to go out is go out and play quality baseball. And if we do that, we'll have a chance to win games. And if we win games, then we control our destiny in the tournament.
And just speaking of, you said your young guys, your entire team really is handling the adversity very well this season. One of the young guys in particular that has been in your rotation lately that's been playing well is Jonathan Sylvester. He's been really stepping up for you guys. Just talk about his effort and his impact on your team since he's been in your rotation.
Yeah, so John, he earlier in the year would get some shots and just still trying to figure some things out and getting a little big with his swing, a little big with his approach, and some other guys got hot when he wasn't, and he had to sit and watch them play for a little while. But then his opportunity came up against Belhaven, and I think he hit over 500 for the series on the weekend. And he's playing with a fire right now that is really unmatched. And when you have a young guy going out there and playing with his hair on fire like that, then it's really exciting to see, not only for the current team and the current club, but also for your future and what you've got coming up. And to know that we're going to have that kid for 3 more years and just continue to see him grow and to see him play is really exciting. And that's true for a lot of our freshmen. I mean, Dylan Singletary, who's been primarily our DH, has done an outstanding job as a freshman for the majority of the year. John Mars on the mound as a freshman, has gotten into the rotation and hasn't skipped a beat. I mean, he just goes in there and just competes his tail off every time he gets a chance. Blaine Parker's another freshman, and he's, in the top whatever of the conference pitching-wise. Zach McAdams playing shortstop as a freshman. So there's a lot of vital pieces to the puzzle that have young faces, in those situations. And, you never really know how they're going to handle things. But I'm really, really happy with, how the older guys have kind of taught them and kind of showed them how to handle situations, how to go about your business on a daily basis in a consistent manner. And those guys have absolutely done what they needed to do, and it showed, with our play.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck to you tonight and this weekend as you look to get yourself well within the standings of the ASC. Just a moment, we're going to return. We'll talk with our softball coach, Janae Shirley, in just a moment.